Hi, Kim from Foster Hill Farm here. We posted a video on how we seed our tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant, but I neglected to tell everyone how we actually step them up from our seed tray into our larger pot. So I'm going to do that now. There were some questions that came through when we posted our first video, so I wanted to show you. First, I wanted to talk about what we're stepping up to. So this is an 18 count tray that we've filled with potting mix. We are using a commercial potting mix made by Lambert. They also have a retail line, but it's a peat and bark base. So there's actually no soil in it. It's very light and it's great for the moisture. It also has some perlite in it, and that also helps to keep the aeration. So we fill them up right to the top. Carl just opened this bag, so it had a little bit of moisture in it. We fluff it up on our bench. It was too dark on our bench, so I moved over here. Normally we're on a solid surface. But my point is that if you have your potting mix out and it's really dry, you're going to want to mist it and kind of fluff it up so that there's a little moisture in it as you're seeding. So I'm going to use this as my little work area. So now I'm going to show you some of our first seedlings of the year. We've got tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant in here. I always like how that looks. I think it looks so pretty. And you can see that they're very tight in some of these containers. I'll put up to 100 seeds in one container. And I know that sounds crazy, but it works. Their plants are resilient, and as long as you're stepping them up before they get too tall, they have plenty of time to grow and to get a little more sturdy. So how do I actually do this? I take my plant. This one here is actually a little bit taller than I waited a little too long. These were all seeded at the same time, but the tomatoes grow a little quicker. Solano patio grape. Right now we're seeding our hot peppers, eggplant, and then our patio tomato plants. So this guy here, he's going to step up to a 4-inch pot, and then we're going to put that into a larger pot for retail as a patio pot in May. All right, so what I do is I just take the whole container, and you notice this one's shorter. I talk about this in the other video. I cut them, which drives Carl nuts. I cut all the pots because I like it to have a smaller soil volume so that they heat up quicker on the heat mats. If you were to use this, it would be harder for the plant to grow. It wouldn't germinate as quickly for us. So I cut them, and this one too, if you were to just limit your soil volume, what would happen is the plants would really stretch to go to the light. So I don't want that either. So I just take these apart like this, and you can see that the roots are all formed here. They're coming through. They're actually down to the bottom already. And then I just gently, or not so gently, take one out. Now this one's got an awful long stem on it right now. I just have to find my chopstick. Hold on one sec. I normally use a chopstick to do this. Oh no, Carl. I'm gonna have to start again. It's on the ground. Okay, maybe I don't have to start again. Chopstick. So I take the plant, I take the pot, and then I just make a little hole, and then I push the roots down. I know people are going to say, oh, the roots are to be so careful, but you know what? These plants are so resilient. They're tough little things, and they actually, they do great when you make the temperature a little cool, when you blow a fan on them. It makes them sturdier plants and a little bit more rugged when you put them outside. So you can see, I'm going to pick this up. I only leave about a 1/2 inch showing, and I don't want those leaves to touch the potting mix. That's how your pathogens can jump up to the leaves, so you want to leave that. But you do want to sink it as far as you can. It's fine that it's a really long stem, because what happens is the roots will come right off the stem and make it a sturdy plant. In fact, if it's too long, sometimes what I do is I just bend the plant and make a little U like this. And that's just fine too. Try and make them come up somewhere in the middle of the container, and that's fine. And then we have our labeling, and we just put our labels in once we're done with the tray, and then we would water this in. And I wanted to show you one other handy little tool that Carl made. It's called a dibble. So if we're doing a lot of trays at once, we'll just line them all up. And then this one's custom made for this 18 count tray. And then you just put that on and push it down, and it kind of makes the holes for you. And then you just gotta backfill it, make sure you're closing all the cavities so that there's no air pockets around, and then the roots have something to grab onto. And that is how we step our plants up. So good luck with your gardening this year.